Welcome back, everybody. Can you hear me okay out there? It's great to be back. Thank you for tuning in today. It's been like at least a month since we last did an interview on here. Took some time off for the summertime, so it's good to be back again. And if you've not, tuned into an Unscripted before, Unscripted is a show about the power of music, and we got a special guest today. Today's guest is DJ Tameil, one of the founders of Jersey Club, from New Jersey, obviously. And DJ Tameil has been instrumental in the popularity of club music in general and helped produce some classics. So I'm really excited to bring him on the show today and talk to him about that and what's going on these days. So without further ado, let me introduce to you DJ Tameil in the house. How you doing, DJ Tameil?
I'm pretty good. What's going on?
Glad to have you here, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, effects. I have to have some effects for the Jersey Club legend, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Hey, so you're known as one of the founders of Jersey Club music and a pioneer in developing the club sound as we know it, along with Rod Lee, DJ Technics, K-Swift, as well as the new generation of artists like Unique, Cookie Kawaii, DJ Slink, and more. How does it make you feel to see the legacy of something you helped bring to life spread so far?
Bro, I mean, like I tell any other time, I never expected this. I mean, from the beginning, for me, I was just like, I was on the CD and mixtape market. So for me, it was just having something different to sell, to make money. And I was like making a lot of money from club music. But, I was like, the Be More thing would be like a different twist than everything else that's out. So let me make those connections. And, it happened. And now seeing the point that it is now, I'm just like, holy shit,
So awesome, dude. And I mean, how would you describe the Jersey Club sound? Like, what's the way you describe Jersey Club to somebody who has never heard it before?
Well, it's a lot of two. I mean, of course, we come from the Baltimore club sound. I always want to make that clear. I'm always going to pay my respects to Be More. All of my OGs, my big bros, my big sis. But we add our own elements. I mean, everything could be up to what we went through in one day. We make a song, that surrounds that. It's a whole feeling. It's also stupid stuff, the Bear Springs, the Ludacris Dick sample. It's so many different things, man. Whatever comes to mind, that's what we use. If it sounds good, we use it.
That's awesome, man. I love the humor, not the humor. The fun element of the sounds. Like, it's always kind of, charming and fun, lighthearted. It's not doesn't take itself too seriously. Would you say that's fair? Right. Nice. And I want to give a quick shout out. Yo Cardis is in the house. We got DJ Gons, Mr. Sonny James. Thank you guys for tuning in. And of course, the legend DJ Tameil is here. Now, can you tell me, when you were growing up in Jersey, what was the music you were listening to before, obviously, Jersey Club existed?
Oh, man, before that, I can say growing up, I can remember ever since I was probably about 3 years old, for as long as I can remember music, probably listening to like Marshall Jefferson. My uncles used to play house music, so it was a lot of Chicago house, like Move Your Body, Chippy, Like This. It was so much, man. Martin Circus. And actually, my uncle Redman, I learned a lot from him DJing. And, I never, even as far as DJing, I didn't think that I would be, from that young, you don't know what you're going to do. But there was a situation where he was DJing for one of my other uncles, and he was doing a wedding. And I had never been in front of a crowd before. I just practiced in the house whenever they taught me. And this one day, he was just like, called me up on the stage and was like, DJ right now. And I'm like, right now? Like, I never did this in front of people. So I played EU's Doing the Butt. And that was a big song at the time. So the response I got from it, I was just like, yo, I'm about to be a DJ.
That's so sick. Hang on, let's just rewind a sec though. You're talking about Redman, being Uncle Redman. Talk about that a little bit. I feel like we can't just gloss over that. We got to expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's kind of. I mean, for me, it's like, growing up. First of all, before we even found out we were like related like that, we lived next door to each other. and
wow.
always so close. His sister was babysitting us and everything like that, and we played with the dog, and it's just odd. And then years later, it was like we go through the bloodline, we find this connection, and then it's like, wow, like he comes out in a video with Tribe Called Quest. He's eating chicken on the bench, and then by the time I'm in 9th grade, I think it was, he dropped the single Hardcore with EPMD. And then the single came after that for Blow Your Mind, and then the album, and I'm just like, the fuck, this is unreal for me, because back then I'm thinking like all of this celebrity stuff, the TV stuff, is just TV.
Yeah.
You would never think that it would be somebody that you know. But crazy enough, like when he dropped, and then the guys right behind us on the next block, Lords of the Underground, they dropped.
Oh shit.
And then, all in the same neighborhood. So like, right across, maybe a couple of blocks up, Naughty by Nature.
Right.
So all of this stuff is happening around me, and, it's influencing me because I'm still young at the time. So I'm just like, I was actually in school for art at the time, and the school made me hate to draw. I'm not going to lie, because my major class was art, and the teacher that I had at the time, he was just like, I think it was 5 hours of drawing you had to do every night. Wow. But that's not including the homework from your other classes too. So I had like basically no life. I was like, I'm not doing this shit no more. And I went more into music around that time. Actually it was graffiti first. So, shout out to my boys Artifacts.
Oh, yeah.
Tameil.
Wow, man, dropping so many gems right here.
Chaos. Yeah. It was a lot around me, man. So, that kind of influenced me in, really getting into music. That's crazy,
man. I didn't know.
So
I didn't know the Redman connection was blood, and New Jersey, one of New Jersey's finest, one of the best in the game, in top 5. You know what I mean? And and yeah, of course, Artifacts, New Jersey, and is Queen Latifah also from New Jersey?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys got.
That's the one that I never got to meet in person, and I'm just like, how the hell did I not meet Queen Latifah yet? And actually, she shot a movie like. It wasn't even a movie. It's a series that she got. And she shot it outside of my house because my house is like right next to Irvington High School. So, she went there. So, and her mom, I believe, was a teacher or something like that there. And they shot the series outside, and I wasn't home this day. I was working. So when I heard about it, I'm just like, yo!
Damn. Well, let's go into a little bit more of like some older Jersey history, because you're talking about being influenced by house music a lot. I'm curious to know Tony Humphries, a very important figure in house music, and held a residency at Zanzibar in New Jersey. Was he an influence to you as a younger DJ as well?
Yes, I started to hear about Tony like later on. I didn't know names and stuff like that. I just got the tapes or whatever was downtown. My aunt used to sneak them to me because my mother didn't really want me to be a DJ. So, my mom's is the type that, she's tied up into, she thinks the worst of everything. So, she sees things going on with Tupac and Biggie, you're going to get killed. You're not doing music and this and that. I'm just like, Ma, like, really? And my mother didn't take belief until she actually saw me. I was actually DJing on BET, Rap City.
Oh, wow.
And then it was like, once she saw that, it was just like, yo, my son. And I'm like, Ma, I told you I knew what I was doing.
That's sick, man. When did you play on Rap City on BET?
I believe this was like 2004, 2005.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did Rap City, and then after that was like, funny enough, it was like a Wild Out Wednesday DJ battle. I did on 106 in Park.
Oh, wow.
With my man DJ Pro and Fat Fingers. Fat Fingers murdered us, man. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, we know Fat Fingers pretty good, man. Real quick though, just jumping back to Redman, I think it's interesting, since we're talking about DJing, is that a lot of people, including myself for a long time, had no idea that Redman was like a very accomplished DJ and DJ'd and toured with EPMD before he had a solo career, which is, that's wild to me.
Yeah, like a lot of people didn't know that he was a DJ before, and that's actually how he got discovered by EPMD. So he was actually DJing for Do It All from Lords of the Underground before they became Lords of the Underground. Okay. And he was known as DJ Cut Killer, and he was killing it, man.
That's so sick,
He was
man.
killing it. I mean, from what I remember as a kid, he was killing it.
Cool, man. And I'm just jumping back to Tony Humphries here. So house music, hip hop, kind of happening at the same time, right? Like a lot of the music was popping in Jersey at the same time in the 90s. Would you say?
Right.
Yeah, and then Alias are from New Jersey too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
From Linden, New Jersey.
Okay. Let's just take a quick.
I can't believe I know these dudes personally. Like, I'm just like, yo, I'm a fan of your work, and I'm like, what the hell? What? Who the hell am I for you to be a fan of me? You know?
That's awesome. Let's take a quick moment and just play a bit of a classic, one of the most classic house tunes of all time here. Alias, Follow Me by Alias. So yeah, that's a classic everywhere around the world. I feel
that's classic.
Such a big tune.
And some people around here say that they sick of that song. I'm like, yo, I'm never going to stop playing this song because for one, it's home. They're from here, so I'm never going to get sick of it. And any chance I get, I play that song. It's been, let's see, I think that song came out in 1993, so 30 years.
Wow.
30 years and people still jam to it like it's new,
Absolutely. I mean, it's just a certified classic, and I feel like it's timeless, you know what I mean? Especially nowadays, following people is just like a normal thing. Yo, real quick, I'm just going to give a quick shout out for the raid to the homie Low Key who's coming in with all his homies. Shout out the Good Music Twitch fam. We got Sammy Gilmore, Yanala, El Rizzi from Vancouver, Manila Ice, Special Says, all love. Great to see you all here. Thank you so much for tuning in. G-Stone, the gentleman.
Shout out to everybody, man.
Yo, thank you so much for coming in, guys. Great to have you here.
Yo, I've been on Twitch for so long, but I haven't really been using it. So a lot of this stuff is new to me still. So I'm looking through the comments now, and I'm just looking at the, I guess, emojis, or I'm just like, wow.
Yeah,
because if I did do a live, I would do it from my YouTube.
Right.
So
I think we have a Jersey Club emote for today, especially. So feel free to use that if you're in the chat. What up, That Go Eris, DJ Miggy? Yeah, we got a whole lot of homies in here, man. This is great.
Hey, that's fire, yo. Yo, before we go any further, I just want to give a couple of shout outs because I'm looked at as that guy that brought forth Brick City Club music, which turned into Jersey Club music. But, there was other people there with me. So in the beginning, it was the OGs, Official Ghetto Style, which is Doughboy, Crime, DJ Jazzy B, Smooth Killer, and a few others. Forgive me if I forget a couple of names. But, when we released those first two records, which was Official Ghetto Style Volume 1, and let me see. My first vinyl, which I put out on my own label.
Okay, here we go.
This was beginning of Jersey Club music.
Anthrax Records, DJ Tameil. Okay. Yo, that's right. Fire, man.
Yo, and it was crazy because the label was made up out of, no disrespect to any 9/11 victims, but it was made up kind of a joke between kids that used to come downtown to buy CDs after school. So I don't know if everybody remembers, at the time when everybody was talking about Anthrax.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he was like, yo, Anthrax is going to be in the mail and this and that. I was like, yo, Anthrax is everywhere. So I was like, yo, they had a handshake they had, to the crew and everything like that. I was just like, yo, Anthrax Records. So, just ran with that.
Yeah, that was a time. I remember. You're completely right. That was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, all respect to the 9/11 victims. But yeah, that was, man, I remember hearing that, people getting Anthrax mailed to them or some shit. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, and then right behind that came Brick Bandits.
There we go.
You know, and when we first met, you know, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't all cool, you know. It was like I controlled the mixtape market, so, you know, their way of getting on was like to diss me. So that, you know, I would say their names or whatever like that, so that, you know, and it almost came to something that it shouldn't have been, but fortunately, we were grown enough to like settle our differences. I'm like, yo, like y'all make dope music. I'm already out here, you know, I make dope music. Let's get together.
I love that, man. I love that, you know, at the end of the day, music does bring people together, and if you can put aside differences, everyone wins if they work together.
Right.
So, can you tell me, did you start out as a house music DJ, or were you a hip-hop DJ?
I was actually pretty much all over the place. I mean, because I was buying a lot of club records because at first I had instilled in my head that hip-hop was a bad thing. You know, and that was because of my mom. My mom didn't like hip-hop at all, you know, that boopity-bop shit and this and that, you know, so I followed behind everything my mother said. And it was around, I want to say 84, 85, maybe 86. Red started playing like Biz Markie and introduced me to like Big Daddy Kane and stuff like that, you know, and I was just like, yo, I think my mother is wrong, man. This shit is hot. You know?
This shit is hot for sure, man. Especially Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
One of the greats. So when you started, let me rephrase this. How did becoming a DJ help you as a producer?
Well, actually, I can name some names, man. Like, I was listening through certain records, and for one, DJ Tameil.
Ooh.
That dude chopped up samples like so good that I don't even think they recognize sometimes where they can hit them for like a, you know, copyright infringement or anything like that. Because, you know, I mean, I got so good with hearing the samples. I'm like, yo, I know where that came from, but they don't have this listed in the credits. Yo, this dude is nice, you know? And Eric Sermon. Eric Sermon was a monster.
Yeah.
And like even as far as like on the house tip and club music, DJ Sneak I listen to a lot, and Armand Van Helden.
Yep.
Damn it. Yeah. Let me not leave out the legend Pal Joey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Soho, wow. Right? Hot music.
Yeah.
That's Pal Joey, right?
Yeah, he had like a lot of hot records, man.
That's true. And the more I think about it, I've always loved a lot of the music, especially house music that comes from Jersey, you know, and a lot of the people you're talking about, the New York house producers, Armand Van Helden and Pal Joey and stuff like that, and even Todd Edwards for that matter, and the way that the chopping of the samples is such a unique and delicate approach. But yeah, when I think about it, it's the same thing I love about DJ Premier and how he chops up his samples. It's just like a beautiful art.
Yeah, I was real big on, listening to the samples, man, because I kind of missed the way that records used to come out. Like when a single came out, I was the dude that would read the credits and read the label on a record, you know, and figure out who every last person was and look for the samples and everything like that. You know, I had like a huge collection of records from one of my uncles that passed away, and a lot of those records were in there. You know, so I would go listen to them. I'll find a part that they sampled in the record, and, you know, I will be stuck to all of that stuff. Like, yo, this is what I gotta do.
It's such a magic feeling.
Yeah.
And when you discover how they did it or whatever, you break it down, it's like such a magic feeling. Actually, if you don't mind, I'd love to just, I may be going on a bit of a tangent here, but one of these songs, for me, that really blew my mind was the way that Carrie Lucas, what's his name? Armand Van Helden flipped the Carrie Lucas sample
man.
And into You Don't Know Me. Just freestyling here, guys. Stick with me. I think we can do it, though. But, yeah, this is the Carrie Lucas song. Very funky. And then there's like a bridge part.
I need ya.
Anyways, sorry.
See what you did there.
Just had to do that, while we could, just to show it. Like, I think that's such an interesting part that he took from the song. That dude's
absolute beast, and like so great with picking out the right samples that made like a hot record, man.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I think the same for you, very much in the same way. And that's why I was kind of wondering, like, as the DJ, and, a lot of the things that I love about Jersey Club is it feels like what I'd want to do, pressing buttons on a DJ controller or an MPC or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's very like a DJ focus. In fact, would you say a lot of like club records, Jersey club records, Baltimore club records began as DJ tools or break records? Yeah.
I can say that. Because I mean, you got the Think Break and so many others, the Gas. It's so many records that are staples to the genre.
That's how I feel. I mean, like, especially with listening when I, preparing for this interview, I was listening to a lot of the beginning stuff from Be More and Jersey, and a lot of them felt like they were just designed for DJs to play. They were for peak time to be able to like get the hypest part of the the jam. This is the record you're gonna play, and it's gonna really elevate it. And I'm thinking like a lot of songs like DJ Class Tear the Club Up and Samir's theme.
Yeah.
They just set shit up like crazy.
Yeah. And before we go any further, like on the Jersey tip, man, like I can't forget a legend, Kerry Chandler.
Oh yeah.
I mean, these are like the things that I grew up on, man. So I mean, the people that put me in an element where I'm like, I gotta sound like this, I gotta be like this, I gotta pick out samples, and I gotta have a sound that's just as dope as this.
It's crazy. We actually had I think it was Wajid on the show, and he was talking about Kerry Chandler as well, and he said, I hope I'm getting this right, but he was just talking about how Kerry Chandler also had a hip hop project, which was super dope. It was Dan Charnas, actually. Sorry, that was insane. Sonny James, I think you know about it too, but I've never heard it, and I'd love to know more about Kerry Chandler as a hip hop producer as well.
I don't think I heard the whole thing. I mean, I was more into like the house records at the time, when I was picking out a lot of his records.
Absolutely, and he's still putting out great music. It's amazing.
Yeah, man.
So what actually, speaking of like when you were making these records, I want to get into one of your records in a minute here, but I was really curious to know what equipment you were using, to start out when you were making a lot of your early records.
Okay.
So what were you using? Were you using MPCs? Were you using software? Like how were you kind of composing the like, for example, Shotgun Buck? I wanted to play Shotgun Buck, and I was curious to know how you made that record.
Okay, Shotgun Buck was actually Acid Pro.
Acid, okay.
Yeah, Acid. Like Acid kind of made me put up my MPC and everything else, because I was just like, it's like unlimited what I can do on here.
Right, because the MPC only had...
I'm hoping I can get the gist and, pretty much go into the same on, Serato Studio.
Yeah, so, man.
I just don't want my sound to change. I took a little while off from making music, but when I get back in, I don't want to lose my sound.
Absolutely. Yeah, because, I mean, let's listen to Shotgun Buck, actually, where you're sampling... I'm not too sure. I don't want to put you on blast, but you're sampling an older song, and then you've got the Buck sample, you're at Gunshots, and then you've got a video game song in there, sound in there as well. But you make it make perfect sense together, and that's the thing I love about it. Let's play DJ Tameil, Shotgun Buck, right here.
Yeah.
goes so hard, man. We'll just leave it at that right now because I'm sure we'll get. Got
you. Yo, but that record was so fun to make, man. I use the Buck. It's actually Onyx.
Oh,
that's Sticky Finger saying Buck. The Duck Hunt game, of course, and I don't want to mess up the name. I think it was Wilson Pickett. I think was the shotgun.
Man,
yeah, man, it was a fun record, man.
I mean, I just love the way it progresses. Like this, it sounds like it was fun to make that record. It's fun to play that record. Just the way it all develops and the way it progresses. Because as somebody who makes music myself, it's really easy to get stuck on just like a loop or something. But that's actually one of the things that I love about Jersey is it's so fun. It moves. It's got constant movement, and it's really made to dance to, right?
Right.
I was watching a really good documentary again, preparing for this, and it talks a lot about how dancing is such an important part of Jersey Club too. And when you're making this music, are you making it for people to dance to?
Yes, and it's kind of yes and no. Because the dance element actually, there was a different group of producers that came out and was focused more on just the dancers. For me, it was like, I had started getting involved with different labels. So, I was doing like EP deals with labels. And it was more of like, I was focused more on the production part. Which, actually I wanted somebody to dance to it too, but I was more focused on the production.
Because, it's just got such great energy, dude. I'm going to talk about some of your later stuff as well. But that was one of the earlier EPs you put out, right? Of Shotgun Buck?
Yeah. And I actually think I did that for. Damn, who did I do that for? I think I got the vinyl here.
This is great. For? I love it.
Was that? Oh no! That was
Brick Bandits.
Brick Bandits record for Man Decent.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's such a great record, man. The other thing that I really wanted to talk to you about actually was Crystal Waters, and she's also from New Jersey. Is that right?
I never knew that. Actually.
I think she is. Yeah, I looked it up. So
wow,
we're talking Crystal.
Wow. Yo, that's one of my favorite artists, and I never knew she was from Jersey.
That's awesome.
Like, she performed. My cousin is a promoter, and she performed. Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, I looked it up.
I never knew that.
I had to. I was like, oh man, because I want to talk to you about how you flip Gypsy Woman, the Gypsy theme, and I think you were just my personal experience. You were the first person that really like flipped that. Where it was like, the song was out and all that, but when I started to listen to the like Jersey Club and that, I remember hearing the Gypsy theme, and I was like, yo, this is a jam. And it was the first time I ever heard that Crystal Waters song being flipped. Which is crazy to think about it now, because I feel like almost every week there's a new Crystal Waters flip, which isn't a bad thing. It's a strength to the original. But let's just play.
I can honestly say I don't think I was the first, but I really don't know if I was the first or not. But I can honestly say, I had a lot of fun doing that record. I did that record on the front porch of my mother's house.
Wow.
And people were walking past. I think I did that record and the Wanted record. Take You a Gun, Pull the Trigger. I think I did those in the same day. And people were walking past like, yo, this shit is bumping.
That's great. That's great feedback. Hey, you gotta love that. But let's just play a real quick snippet of Gypsy theme by DJ Tameil. Which, of course, I mean, that's a dance floor sure shot right there. I mean, you can't go wrong there at all. It's crazy, though. That song, just if we can talk about that a little bit longer, you know, the recent kind of interest in that song, well, I guess is post 2007. You made that in 2007, so I mean, that was the first time I heard it being flipped, but those chords have been sampled like a million times, and most recently I heard Pink Pantheress use it in her song I Must Apologize.
Yeah.
And she kind of blew up on TikTok, Pink Pantheress, you know, her productions and songs were kind of like a thing, but Jersey Club has a really interesting relationship with TikTok. You know, we've got someone like Cookie Kawaii who blew up off TikTok as well.
I'm not speaking on that name right now.
Okay.
And I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. But do you use TikTok much, Tameil?
No, actually, I have an account, but I'm just not into it.
Fair enough. The crazy thing is like how much Jersey Club dances are being used for these routines, and I just find that really fascinating. You know, like how Jersey Club is like always through. You know, like you've got obviously people like yourself who founded it. It's come up, you know, again in 2012, and had like, you know, you've got all the dancers like the Running Man off New Jersey, a dancer from New Jersey, and then you've got Cookie Kawaii, you've got other artists, and just people learning dance moves to Jersey Club. It feels like Jersey Club is always there.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. You know, we never expected for it to be like this. Never in a million years.
Yeah, it's amazing though. And where do you see like Jersey Club going in the future?
Hopefully being adopted into the mainstream, man. You know, I mean, Drake,
yeah,
Sierra. You know, it's so many artists tapped into it so far. And yesterday I saw that. Well, it's actually more like Be More Club, but I saw that Bobby Shmurda did a record. I don't know about that title and what it's. It's crazy, man. You know, it's called Hoochie Daddy.
Okay, let's talk about maybe that record, Level Up, which Sally Tells Fuck It Up Challenge. Excuse me if anyone's offended by the language. We're going to be playing the explicit version here. But let's talk about that. I think that's a really interesting example of something that was like really like viral and underground, then blew up. So if you're not familiar, this was probably a couple years ago, like 2018, I think. But this is the Telly Tell record.
Fuck it up, 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 fuck it up. Let's go. Throw that ass in the circle. Throw that ass in the circle. Fuck it ass in the circle. Throw that ass in the circle. Go best friend, 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 go best friend. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up,
And then of course,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, watch me. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up.
Check your ex, level up, love yourself, level up, drop that weight, level up. It's time to win.
and that's just another example of something that did kind of go mainstream from a challenge, right? A dance challenge from Jersey Club music, and popped off. How do you feel about the way that went down?
I love it because she actually gave Telly Tell's credit, man. Like, I love it when the artist like actually reaches back and it's just like, you know, this is where I got the idea from. So, you know, because that the original song went crazy on the internet. So, I mean, it was going to be no way she can get away from that anyway. Everybody pretty much would have known.
And we're seeing that.
But I just think it's yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just think it's so dope that she just gave credit.
Yeah, absolutely. We're kind of seeing this again, and like with the recent interest, I guess, if we can call it that, in house music, Jersey Club music, and we're seeing it blow up right now with like Beyonce's new track "Break My Soul," and then obviously Drake's new album, Honestly Nevermind. And I made a quick video, by the way, talking about the bass sound in Beyonce's "Break My Soul" being like a plugin, and I saw you retweeted that. So thank you very much, DJ Tameil.
Yeah, right.
And it just talks about how Crystal Waters actually also used that synth, the Core Game one, for that iconic chord progression as well. But I feel like we've got to talk about the bed squeak. Speaking of iconic sounds. Let's talk about what initially drew you to that sound. Like, what was it that kind of grabbed your ear about it?
Jokes. Jokes, man. Like throwing it together in a record, like, because I think the first record I used it in was, I called it Fucking Be Friends, but it was it Lil Flip? Yeah, I think it was Lil Flip. Sunshine.
Oh, you took the sample?
And I threw the sample over that, and after that, we just kept the jokes coming, man. Like, it's one thing with me, Tim Dollar and a few others, like, it's constant jokes, man. We love to laugh.
That's so awesome. Let's just play that track, the original sample, if you don't mind. Some Cut, right? Is the original?
Right.
The original one, and that's the Little John produced this track from
right.
Correct. So let's just pull that up for people so they know. So this is the bed squeak sound. So you got that? Did you get that from like the beginning of the record, or like?
Yeah, because they had a beginning part without the beat,
right?
And I sampled it from there. So the funny thing about it is, Lil Jon just explained recently that it's actually not a bed; it was his rocking chair, but it sounded like a bed spring to me. So we never knew until all of these years later when he explained it. Funny the things you find out.
Have you ever talked to Lil Jon about that? Have you had a conversation?
No, I didn't talk to him about that. But funny enough, when I was DJing at BET Rap City, Lil Jon was like the first guest that I was on there with.
Oh shit!
And it was funny because I didn't know that he was a DJ at the time. So we recorded I think it was 3 different sets that day. And right before our show, I think Beanie Siegel was first. And then Lil Jon was the DJ for them Franchise Boys. That's when I was like, what the fuck? Lil Jon? He was in there killing it.
Yeah, he's a great
I was
DJ.
sitting outside. Yeah, I was sitting outside, watching on a little TV screen before it was time for my show. And I'm like, this dude is actually cutting it up. And I knew he was a producer, but I didn't know he was a DJ.
Yeah, he's a fabulous DJ, man. Big up Lil Jon, one of the best.
Right.
Yeah, he deserves a lot of credit, man. Just like you said, outside of being an outstanding producer and vocalist, he's like an insane DJ, and he DJs all. It's a funny story. I was in Ibiza one time, and he did a DJ set with Steve Aoki at Pasha in Ibiza, Spain, and I was like, this guy is like so good at just rocking a party, no matter where he is in the whole world. He can do anything. Like he's got so many records, it's insane. And he loves house music, too. He's a really good house DJ.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And I think it was when we were on the show, I kind of introduced him to Jersey. Well, it was still Brick City Club music at the time. So I played a track for him and some other stuff. And he was like, he was already used to the B-more stuff. He had heard it before. And I was like, I didn't, it's wild that you even know about this stuff, but he's a DJ.
Yeah, because I think he even got on the I'm the Shit remix with DJ Class. I think he was on one of those.
Yeah, my bro DJ Class.
yeah, that's crazy, man. And just speaking of producers, you and Technics have a really great relationship. Let's talk a little bit about like if we take it back. The story goes, you were traveling to Baltimore to buy local records. And then brought them to Jersey. Can you tell us about those first trips down there and what attracted you to the sound, or how you got connected with a lot of the B-more guys?
Well, first of all, I used to hear all the time because people, from that city would tell me, yo, man, you from Jersey and this and that, they not going to, they might try to get at you and this and that. I'm like, first of all, I'm from Newark, so... whether I was by myself or not, I'm like, it's not like it's going to be anything I'm not used to. They're pretty much the same, as far as like the way things go. So I was more comfortable with, just rolling from record store to record store, wherever they would tell me to meet somebody at, because rest in peace, Bernie, he used to own Music Liberating. And, he would put me on the phone with people or, connect me with different people. And that's how I would begin to find everybody. And, yeah, man, I would just travel around and meet everybody. One day he was like, Technics is here in the store. I think we spoke on the phone that day. And then by the next time that me and Technics connected, he had his own record store, which was like right across the street.
Technics had his own?
Yeah, he had his own record store.
Oh, cool.
So, I went down there and I met Dookie Man would hang in the store all the time. So, go down there and kick it with them. And just looking at Techniques DJ inside the store, like, amazing, man. Amazing.
He's
like, a lot of people
DJ.
didn't know that Techniques was, like, in the DMCs back in the day. So, for me, that was new, too. I didn't know that until, like, all these years later. So, it kind of connected the dots when I found that out later, because like watching him DJ in the store and like he would start cutting and everything like that, I'm like, yo, this dude is he's fucking amazing, man.
It's so good. And I think you told the story a bit about how he actually came up with one of the Be More Rhythm from doing a juggle. Is that right?
Yeah, he told me that story. I'll let him explain that one, man, because my mind was blown by him saying that one. And we want him to do this live, because that's crazy.
Yeah, I gotta.
You came up with this from a juggle, and like the world is doing this now. This is crazy.
It's wild. I mean, it's so cool actually that to see you and Versus Technics. You guys did a Versus on here a few years ago, which I'm really happy that we got to do.
Thank you, man. Salute.
And it's so cool to see that you guys, are still good friends and how you work together on music together and stuff like that. And if you want to see it, we can probably post it in the chat.
Like, no, that's my brother. That's my brother, man. It'll never be that.
That was so cool though, because especially I remember you guys tried to do it. It didn't quite work out, but yeah, I'd love to do another one of those sometime with you, man. It was so cool to see.
Why not?
Yeah, man. It was like you guys just have so many great records together, and But I'm curious to know, what would you say the main differences are between Be More Club, Jersey Club, and Philly Club? What are the? Is there a specific? I mean, I know the Jersey Club pattern, the kick pattern is like probably the one thing, and then the sounds, and the Be More Club pattern, kick pattern is slightly different.
It's similar. For me, it's kind of different because I produce both. I started out, some of my first records that I had put out, was Be More records. Shouts and Quiet Records, which is DJ Patrick. Unruly. I was on Unruly. So, I do both. Now, what I would say is the difference, after so many years, we stopped using like claps. And it's, it's just straight up, just the kicks.
Mm-hmm.
Be More uses horns, and we don't so much do that. The same with Philly. Every city has their different elements that they put into it. And from what I know of Philly, Philly's a little different now because, there's a newer generation. But I can go to DJ Sega. Sega is like, his ideas are the wildest, and I'm just like, what the fuck did you smoke before you made it? Like, his ideas are so off the hook, man. It's like, that's how you're thinking. Like, what was on your mind when you made this, man? Because, one of his favorite records of mine, I can say, and you would never think that somebody would do this. He did Mr. Rogers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So the way that he flipped it, it was just so crazy. I'm just looking at him like, dude, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So he's like, he flipped the part where it's like, I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. Then he flipped it to, I always want to live in the hood just like you. I always want to have a neighbor just like you. I always want to live in the hood. I'm just like, that's fucking creative. Like, I would have never thought of that. Like, his ideas are like so out of this world when he makes music. So I would say like a lot of the Philly artists came from him, but they switched more into like the dance.
Yeah.
So I want to say the music got faster because, they were focused on the dance. The same as here, they're more focused on the dance than the business part of it. Which, At first I had a problem with it, but then I started to look at it like, yo, I remember at a time like when we were coming out with Brick City Club Music, aka Jersey Club Music, there was some DJs here that told us to our faces, like, this shit ain't going nowhere. It's not going to work. Ha motherfuckers. Yo, we did. You know, so I'm like, yo, if me and Tim Dollar had a discussion, we like, yo, if we do that to them, we kind of doing the same thing that people were trying to do to us. Like, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You know, and also, like, back when I pressed that first record, I can't say I can't speak for the official Ghetto Style, but I know when I shot my record around, I mean, as far as going to New York and other places, like, yo, some of those places was like, yo, that shit is garbage. You don't fuck with that B-more shit, this and that, and I don't even know if I could say this, but I mean, they like, yo, that shit is gay.
Oh man.
I'm like, what? Like, all right, whatever. 1 year later, everybody want to pull me to the side, like, yo, you don't want to make that the B-more shit, right? Yo, how much would you charge me for? Nah, now you want to talk.
Yeah.
I'm good.
That's sad. I mean, that's, I guess, the way it goes with being a trendsetter, a pioneer, I suppose, right? People are resistant to the new sound. But man, the music that you guys make is just so energizing. I'd like to actually play another one of your joints. Trying to figure out what oh yeah, this is off the Tech 9 EP. This is Tech 9. Actually, I want to play 2 songs off that, actually, if you don't mind, real quick. Okay. I want to play Tech 9 because I love this one. This just gets me fired up. Like, I was going for a run this morning. I was like, I just wanted to. It made me run faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again with the gunshots, gotta love it. We got DJ Alizé in here. What up, DJ Alizé?
Yo.
Let's get right to it. All right, so that's Tech 9, and the other one I wanted to play was your off the same EP. This is Rude Boy, the Rihanna flip that you did. I'm great to see this is on. Really grateful to see this is on streaming services. And you know what? The thing I love about this track, especially, is how you've really taken all these elements from the song and you've really made it. You've totally recontextualized it. And I know the song's originally like 80 beats per minute, and somehow you've made it work in 132. And it's just perfect. So good, man.
Thank you.
Let's get right to it. Anyways, I can't play too much of this, but I highly recommend you check out all this stuff, man, because it's, man, just dance floor heat and just pure energy, man. It's just so good.
I appreciate it, man. What I can say about the first record, Tech Nine, I actually got that idea from my little bro, DJ Tameil. He did a flip with Tech Nine. And when I heard it, I was picking him up from his house that day. And immediately in my mind, I was like, yo, I got an idea for a different flip. So, I went ahead and did that. The element of adding stuff that's going to sound good, different samples. So I don't know if anybody else picked up in there. There's a Yin Yang Twins sample. I forgot exactly what song it is, but that's the Yin Yang Twins.
Oh,
I was like, yo, it sounds good here. So, I stretched it and put it there. The Rude Boy song, I actually made that before going on tour in 2010. That's when that record came out. And I was like, yo, just to have some new records to play while I'm over there. I actually gave that track to Mobile Tracks. Shout my bro, Dope P. That record, as you said, I made it go, that speed that I wanted. A missing element in Jersey Club right now is a lot of the younger kids don't know. We used to chop a record to death, and that's how, I made it fit into any speed that I wanted. So I think what a lot of them do now is this is where the speeds come from. I'm definitely on this. So like say a record is 80 beats per minute. When they make the club version, it's going to be 160. So they just pretty much double it.
Yep.
Because they don't chop the samples all the way down. It's just like they, time stretch it and, we chops every last sound and, made it fit.
Yeah, that was actually, I'm glad you said that because even on like Shotgun Buck or whatever, I'm hearing how you're chopping that. And as somebody who messes around with production a little bit myself, I mean, you can just time stretch something and that'll make it sound a certain way. But the kind of the micro chopping that you guys do in Jersey Club, and then the way you kind of chop and paste it, the rhythm that you guys choose with it, like it's got way more energy. If you just time stretch it, doesn't have that same, I don't know, it doesn't hit as hard. And it's almost like being restricted to like having to chop it makes it so much cooler. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
For me, I mean, I'm gonna elevate some, but a part of me is always going to go back to, how I started out making the tracks, which is all of the chopping and everything like that. Because, I mean, for me, nobody's going to tell me, of all people, what Jersey Club music is.
Right.
So I'm not going to be the person that follows and does what everybody else does. I'm the fucking leader. Like, everybody's following what we did from the beginning. So, I'm always going to keep that chopping element, in the tracks. One track that I can say for sure that really boasts that. I think I did a remix of the Swizz Beats. It's Me Snitches.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Yo, you can really hear, like, I chopped the shit out of that song.
Is that
chopped the fuck out of it, man.
Is that on streaming, do you think?
I don't think it's on streaming. No, I think I would actually have to send that one to you.
That's okay. Well, I'd love to get it, but yeah.
You know what? It might be on my Bandcamp.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's on my Bandcamp.
We'll have to pull out your Bandcamp a little bit later, but man, it's what's so cool about the way that the chopping stuff specifically though is like, you've got these limited parameters. This technology at the time when you were making these beats, you couldn't just use Ableton or Pitch in Time or Serato Studio just to like stretch it out. So you were forced to do something due to the limitations of the technology that created a style and a sound that is now iconic. And I just think that's so awesome. I just think there's that's something quite magical and beautiful about that.
Yo, and I think that's a lot of the stuff that the younger producers missed out on. So you just mentioned with the time and everything like that. Now, before we got to Acid, bro, I mean, like the MPC 60, I can remember so many others.
That's
I was on the,
That was what you were using, the MPC?
Yeah, before that. Well, I jumped between different things because I had a Akai Remix 16, which I had coupled up with, I think it was a Boss DR 770 drum machine. that I use as a sequencer. I used to have a Boss SP202.
Oh yeah, I had one of those too.
I had a few different things.
Yeah.
And like, you were limited on the time. So, say like some samplers might have had like 16 seconds or 32 seconds. Everything that you sample had to fit in that. So we got slick and we would speed the samples up like as fast as they can go. And then inside the sampler, we would slow it back down.
I love hearing that story, man. Every time. It's so cool.
You have to do what you have to do. But when we got used to acid, like me and Tim Dollar sat down one day and we learned acid. And we was like, we unlimited with this shit. So it was me, Tim, Mike V, Black Mike. It was a gang of us. And we were like flipping tracks on, that program.
Because also, Acid Pro would have given you stereo as well. Because I feel like the MPC, like from when I had an MPC 2000, I mean, I still have it, but I don't use it that much. But it had like very limited sampling time. And to, like you said, to get more of the song in there, you'd play that faster on the turntable, like at 45 RPM, and then record it, then slow it down in the machine, which would degrade the sound a little bit. And the other trick, you could sample it in mono, right? And then you'd have more sample time, but it would be in mono, it wouldn't be stereo. So when you got acid, you could do stereo sampling.
Right. Because I can say once I got to Acid Pro, like my sound improved like crazy. So, labels that I did EP deals with, they would ask me like, you got the track mastered? We were going to send it out to mastering, but we don't have to. And I'm just like, nah, I just did the track how, in my regular program. Whatever you did, keep it that way. So, that's like my secret sauce.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's actually the thing I love about Jersey Club and is that level of that kind of rawness of it, like straight out the DAW, nice and loud, slightly distorting. Oh, nice. Yeah, we don't want to lose you, Tameil.
Yeah, I'm totally forgetting that I'm on my phone, so gotta put that charger in.
But yeah, man, especially the way the drums hit, the 808s, it's all so sick. So what would you say are some of the most essential club records for somebody who wants to get familiar?
Jersey Club?
Yeah.
Okay, well, in Jersey Club, I mean, shout out to DJ Frosty, man. That's my dude. Love him. Ride That Wave. It's a gang of Little Man tracks that you can go to. I mean, we can start with I Like the Way She Move. Rock Them Hips. There's a gang of J Hood tracks. I mean, we can go back in the day to get the Patty Cake going.
Okay.
Notice how I always put everybody else first before myself. Yeah. Because I'm never afraid to say that I'm a fan of everybody else. Because I'm like, we started this thing out, but look what y'all doing right now. It's making me proud. Unique microdosing. Everybody thinks that it's just one style of Jersey club music. It's a ha, motherfuckers. Everybody thinks that, because I've seen people do tutorials and stuff like that online, and they think that, all Jersey club sounds the same way. No, not at all.
No.
It's different patterns to it. It's different elements. It's because some of it sounds more like house music too.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's not just one style.
Even in your catalog too, I noticed, Tameil, like, there's obviously, the quintessential, Jersey club kick pattern, but there's lots of variety even in your catalog, in the way you're doing things and the way you're working with samples and drum patterns and drum sounds, which I think is so cool. It just shows so much, versatility and variety.
Thanks. That's how I try to make it, so it's not like you're getting the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, and shout out to Unique. I'm a big fan of Unique too. There's actually there's one song of hers I really like, Stand Back, Reloaded. Do you mind if we just play one of her songs real quick? Shout out Unique. We love Unique. This is Stand Back. This is like 70. This is, I guess, 140 BPM. Oh, volume's down. Let's get it back. Here we go.
Yeah. Are you serious? That's all you got?
Stand back, stand back, stand back, stand
You don't have to come harder than that.
Stand back, stand back, stand
Coming
back,
at me.
stand back, stand back, stand back, stand back, stand back, stand back, I'ma leave it on the dance floor. Stand back, going back to back, stand back, let's move. Stand back, going back to back, stand back, let's move. Stand back, going back to back, stand back, let's move. Stand back, going back to back, stand back, let's move. Stand back, going back to back, stand back, let's move. Stand back, going back to back, stand back, let's move. Stand back, going back to back, stand back, let's move. Stand back, going back to back, stand back, big bully, I be beating down your block. I'm a savage, everything I do is hot. Big bang, see the drip that I rock when I dust your ass without a Glock. Stand back, you a hater, and all you do is clock. I stay lit, about to hit you with the block. Big news, big shit. It's the only thing I drop. Stand back.
You ever got head so good, got both?
And you know what's cool about Unique too is like, yeah, she's a vocalist as well as a producer, which I love. I just love that she makes such dope shit. It's so sick.
Yeah, man.
And she's a great vocalist. Like really brings a lot of character to a song. I think that was one of the things. You talked a little bit about maybe a little bit of resistance earlier on with Jersey Club from a lot of DJs. You know, to see like an artist like Unique making full songs and making like verses and raps and using her voice in that way, it really makes it more of a song, more of a something that has like, I guess, pop potential, right?
Yeah, I like that everybody brings something different to it.
Yeah.
Because we have like, every day there's somebody new. So you can say we get 300-400 producers. And if everybody's bringing the same thing, it's just like, okay, what are we doing this for?
Yeah. Let's just jump back into that discussion a bit about, familiar sounds and Jersey Club being used a lot in popular music now. How do you feel it being used, not only in Drake's song Currents, but by other artists, like the bed squeak sounds and the Jersey Club patterns? Do you see it? Is this now going to be a time where Jersey Club does cross over with someone like Drake, who's such a big artist, using so much from Jersey Club?
You know what? I love it because of the fact, I think about it this way. It might not even be so much, I mean, you can say it's that way. You can say that it's not that way because we were stuck in the house for a pandemic. So who's to not say that Drake, I mean, like you said, TikTok took over with the dances and everything like that. Who's not to say that Drake saw some Jersey Club videos? But then you also got the producer Gordo, who might have just brought it to Drake like, yo, this is some, Drake is like, yo, that's hot. Probably don't even know where it's from.
Right.
So to the fact that the big discussion lately has been Drake and Beyonce. So I put it like this. I'm not mad at it because it actually gives more opportunity for us to go in places that don't know about that music. I would like for these people to reach out like, okay, well, this is where it came from. So why not get somebody from here to come here and play it? Because there's so many places all over this country. I can say a little while back, I went to North Carolina to DJ, and the promoter wanted, all Jersey house music, but people were walking in the door. They didn't promote it in a way that I think they should have.
Right. Because
people were walking in the door and they were like, hey, man, what type of music is this? I never heard of this before. And I'm like, yo, on the flyer, it says, it's going to be house music. They're like, yo, I never heard this before. And they were like, you're going to play some trap? And I'm like, hear this shit all day, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm actually curious now. I was talking to my friend before we jumped on this call, and we were just talking about, I wonder how those records are being received. I mean, obviously, Beyonce is more of a kind of throwback to like a classic house sound, whereas like Drake's a bit more I guess, a bit different. But I wonder how they're landing, you know, when you play them in the club. I mean, I haven't played either of those records out personally yet, but I've definitely played.
Yeah, personally, I haven't had a chance to play them yet.
Right. But, you know, it's, like you said, I wonder if people will reach back and then want to hear more music like that, because obviously that music is known, you know, through TikTok and other places like that. So it's not like it's no one's ever heard it before, because people definitely heard it before, right?
Yeah. Okay, this is a little bit weird. I know you see me moving all around.
Yeah.
For some reason, this charger that I got on the phone is not charging, so I'm gonna plug in a different one.
Okay. That's all good.
You know, I don't want it to get cut off.
I appreciate that, man. And we got Anik Creations in the house. I want to give a big shout out to Anik Creations. Thank you for making one of our emotes, the save emote, in the chat. And she says in here, I'm going to say it, Aubrey, honestly, never mind. I heard a song or two. It felt stale and lackluster to me. That's fair enough. But yeah, I'm just curious to see. I have a question for everybody. Is like, I'd just love to know how it's working for you guys in the clubs, if you're playing those songs.
To me, you know, everybody's going to have their different opinions. I mean, because they don't. Well, I don't know if they do know that music very well. Yo, holy shit, it's still not charging.
Too powerful.
Weird. Getting a red light the whole time. And I was just charging before I put that R rig on, and now it's not charging.
You can still hear me okay though, Tameil?
Yeah, I can hear you. The phone is saying like 8% though. I don't like that.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I mean, if we need to, we can wrap it up. That's all good. I have a really important question that we ask everybody who joins this chat, and I want to know what does the power of music mean to you, DJ Tameil?
The power of music is everything, man. Like, there's a song I grew up off of named "Music Is the Answer" by Colonel Abrams, and it's right, man. You know, music can control your emotions. It can bring you out of a funky state. You know, music is everything, man. Music is everything. I don't care who says it's not. You listening to the wrong shit if you say it's not. Because music to me, you know, music has brought me out of some of the craziest moments, man. Like, I was feeling like real down in my life, and you know, music and you know the beat or the words to something could just lift you up. So, you know, I don't know who would say that, you know, music is not everything, but to me, music is everything.
That's great to hear, man. And, you know, I got to say to DJ Tameil, like, I always love our chats. I love talking to you. You always bring so much positivity, and you've got a great outlook on things, man. It's, like, always so refreshing. And I like how you always put people first, and, you know, you're always, like, shouting out, you know, the people that, you know, helped you and you helped and the community. It's just really awesome, man. So, you know, thank you, dude. Thank you so much.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
You know, I look at it like, you know, what would I be without other people, you know? I'm sitting here listening to my own shit like, oh, okay, yeah, I hear it all the time. I heard it all the time while I was making it. A lot of my tracks I make, you know, if I don't have to use it for something, I'm so tired of it by the time I finish producing it, I'm just like, okay, I don't play it no more. So when I hear somebody else play it, I'm like, shit, you know, I haven't played this since I made it, you know?
Yeah, I love it.
They're like,
man.
yo, what the fuck do you mean? This is dope. And I'm just like, I heard it too much.
Well, speaking of which, what are you currently working on? Can we expect any new music from you soon?
I'm actually producing some stuff for my uncle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Muddy Waters 2.
Whoa!
You know, I haven't submitted the tracks to him just yet, but, you know, this is Redman.
Yeah.
So, you know, even though this is my big unk, that's what I call him, big unk. This is Redman, you know, so it's kind of a no. This will spit, but you know, I'm gonna get him something, and y'all will hear.
Man, I hope we hear some Redman DJ Tameil tracks soon, man. I think that's a fantastic combination. I'd love to hear what that sounds like.
Word.
I feel like he's gonna definitely ride that beat, that tempo real well too.
Yeah, man. And it's not going to be just Jersey Club. You know, it's going to have Jersey Club elements, but, you know, some different sounds. I mean, because, of course, he's hip-hop, so.
Yep.
Iconic hip-hop.
Yeah, and if you guys missed it in the chat, let's make sure everyone's across this, that DJ Tameil, Redman, that's a bloodline connection right there. That's Uncle Redman. So, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Keep it in the family.
Yo, and shout out to Do It All Do. Do It All ran for city councilman, West Ward city councilman in Newark, and he won.
Okay, I don't know about this.
First platinum hip hop artist to ever do that.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Yo, and like I said before, this is from my neighborhood, man. A hood that he was right behind us on the next block.
Wow, that means that's a good thing for Newark, right?
Yeah, Newark.
Absolutely. Also, before we go though, do we have any questions from the audience, or is there anything that you'd like to talk about, Tameil, while we got you here?
Well, yo, I still got time, so you know.
Oh yeah.
I got, it's 8%, so it's not going to die right away.
Okay,
you know,
cool.
I don't really see it going down, so I don't know if it's charging or not, but the green is not coming on. So
okay.
I guess we can talk until it goes.
Yeah. Well, what should we? Let's talk about some more stuff. What do we got? I got some more questions in here, I'm sure.
Yeah, whatever you got, man. I want to give the people as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think what would be really cool actually just to talk about was buying records like. We're talking about pre-Serato here because, Serato came out, 2005? So you were going down, buying records, and pressing your own records out. And then, so you made a lot of your own records, and you also did deals with EPs with certain labels as well. But were you pressing up, like, your own vinyl to give to other DJs and to sell?
Well, yeah. Well, I pressed up the first one myself. After that, when I started doing deals with the other labels, I'm like, okay, I took all of my money to press this up. Why would I have to do that anymore if they want to buy songs from me, to put out?
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, that first record was like, the experience. I didn't go through a distributor. I was my own distributor. Shout out to my brother, Nix in the Mix, DJ Nix in the Mix. We would hop in the car and just drive all over and, put them in stores, whether it was consignment or, they bought them for $5 a piece and then, upsold them from there. It was just an experience, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think that process is almost something that's, you can still do it, but it doesn't happen as much. As someone who's had to do that myself, it's quite a long process and costly and very expensive. And yeah, like you said, distribution,
right.
Going basically store to store because, still vinyl, even in the early 2000s, 90s, it was hard sometimes to actually sell vinyls. You're basically selling to DJs only at that point, right?
Right. And I would stop at clubs afterwards or, give records to DJ friends of mine. My thing was I wanted DJs to be playing my records like how I would go to the record store and buy different records and play them. So I was just like, I got to get this into the hands of this person. Rest in peace to my good friend DJ Tory T. Passed away a couple of years ago, but he used to throw he was like one of the first to throw like the biggest team parties around here. I mean, lines wrapped around the block, and I was like, I gotta get this record into his hands because he's throwing these hit squad parties and everybody's gonna hit his record. Outside of me selling CDs to everybody downtown, this was all of this stuff was a process that came together.
It's cool too. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's cool. DJ Mr. Quiet Man. So many DJs in this area. My brother DJ Mustafa. Like it was so many DJs that helped this sound. It took for everybody to do it. It wasn't just us. To get it spread all across the state, and from the state we moved beyond that.
It was a community.
Yeah, even as far as like the bootleggers, the bootleggers put myself in places where I would never believe. Like I remember getting a call from Hawaii, and I was like, "You got my CD from where?" It was like, "I'm in Hawaii." I'm the fuck, So I mean, things like that, and LimeWire, and I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Kazan, and Bear Care and stuff like that. I used to be upset at it, and they had the phones out at the time, the Nextel chirps, where you you were able to make your own ringtone. Well, the stores used to make the ringtones for some of the people that didn't know how to do it, and they were uploaded so that, like, they will rip club songs like off of my CDs and put them on people's phones, and I'm like, the fuck is our money from it?
Wow, yeah.
Yo, they would have people lined up, yo, for like 3 for $10, and I'm like, all right, you're getting $10. Where the fuck is our money? You know?
Yeah, totally.
But at the same time, it got us in places where we didn't expect.
That's wild. The funny thing is, actually, I've been connected to you for a long time via Facebook and other like platforms, but you've always been putting out mixes as well, like mixtape, selling mixtapes and things like that, which is still something that I don't know, like, if it's a lost art or not, but something that I think is such a cool thing, to kind of introduce people to new sounds, new music, and you've done a really great job at that. Thank you, man. A lot of your mixes are still up on your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, I put a lot of mixes on YouTube. A lot of our older mixes are on YouTube too. So anybody looking for like the older Jersey club and the older B-more club, and also Philly club, it's up there on my YouTube.
What is your YouTube? Make sure we get that in the chat.
Yeah, you search DJ Tameil. I'll type it.
Okay. I love YouTube for that, man. Sometimes I go down YouTube rabbit holes.
Yeah, man. I didn't expect the YouTube to take off like that either, bro. Like, next thing I know, everybody's like, yo, I listen to you every day. While I'm at work or whatever, I'm working out, I'm listening to you. And I'm just like, the hell? So I think the other day I just hit 20,000 followers on there.
Hey, that's
and I'm
dope.
like, yo, this is amazing, yo, because I didn't expect none of this.
Yeah, man. YouTube's great for that. It's almost funny, like it's one of the ones. Oh, thank you, Kid Koo. Sean just put that up. This is we've put it on the screen if you
thanks. I was typing it too. I don't have to.
It's your man DJ Tameil, if you're wondering. YouTube user. It's your man DJ Tameil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like low key, like the one. Oh yeah, because you can't have. Yeah, there we go. Thank you very much.
And a lot of people remember that old drop. I used to. It's your man, DJ Tameil. Know what?
And actually, I have another question just around that. A lot of the sounds and samples that you used, were almost like kind of readily available on the internet on different forums. And in some of your productions, you can really hear some of these like quintessential kind of Jersey club sounds. Obviously, the bed squeak, but there's lots of other sounds as well outside of just the the break beats.
Right.
How do you feel about people using them? And I actually, low key's got a really good question here about that. He actually asked, how do you feel about people from other regions, countries doing your sound, or and similar to what I'm asking, like taking literally your sounds, like the sounds that you use in your tracks, and then reappropriating them?
I feel two different ways about that. I mean, I actually think that it's fine. I love that people all over the place are doing it. But like when we reach out to like, okay, for instance, we had a problem with Trippy Turtle.
Yep.
A few years back, and people were hitting them up like, okay, well, you're making so much money from especially Jersey club music on shows. This is what you're getting booked for. Mm-hmm. So why don't you bring somebody from Jersey on a tour with you, or the one of your shows to? And it was just like it wasn't happening. So, there was some back and forth with words, and he kind of said something disrespectful, like, oh, yeah, Black Lives Matter or something like that. Like, he knew what the fuck was going on. So that's a problem. And we're from Jersey. So, to us, that's an ass whooping for you. He's like, the following day or something like that, he was like, yo, somebody that was working for him had his phone. And I'm like, we don't believe that shit. Whether it was another person or not, that's your ass. This is something you don't do. Yeah. Especially when you're making a living from something that, a lot of people around here don't really have money like that, and a lot of people, Jersey club music is all they have. Jersey club music has created a lot of careers. It's put money in people's pockets. It's took people off the streets. Because there's a lot of street shit that happens here, man. And, some of these people was out there. And, making music took them out of the streets. And people tell me that all the time. Like, they tell me, they tell Mike V, they tell everybody, like, yo, man, like, if it wasn't, I could have been dead or locked up or something like that if it wasn't for Jersey Club. And I'm like, yo, in the beginning, we didn't create it for that. Like I said, I created it for money, you know, to have something different on, you know, I'll say tapes at the time and then CDs, you know, because CDs was just starting to boom. But yeah, man, it gave a lot of people something to do. So when you take from us, and it's not like you looking back, like, it's different if you're giving props all the time. Like, yo, man, like, I know where this came from. And, you know, yo, shout to, you know, everybody over there in Jersey that's doing it. But when you make it like, yo, it's just about you and it's no props given over here and this and that, that's where it's a problem at. But other than that, I don't care who makes Jersey Glove, man. Like, yo, I take it as love. Yo, that's love, man. Because I'm like, I'm one little fucking person in this big ass state, in this big ass world. And, you know, I did something, I was a part of something that everybody's doing worldwide. Like, this is fucking unbelievable.
I think
where's my millions of dollars?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. And I think that, you know, this is definitely something that I hope, you know, we achieve. And with, you know, doing things like these interviews where we really want to highlight, you know, the importance of someone like yourself, DJ Tameil, and especially, you know, the area you come from, you know, the region you come from, and all the other people in the community that have helped build this, for someone to come and just take it away or just, you know, appropriate it and then not kind of give credit where it's due, it seems, you know, yeah, a major disrespect. But at the same time, you know, also I really hope that, you know, people do recognize that, and that does hopefully lead to, you know, more opportunities, or, you know, a way to, you know, that puts money in the pocket as well. Because, you know, without this music, you know, I mean, like, man, I just playing all this music that, you know, when I was doing the research for this interview, I was just like, this music is just so impactful. And, you know, I even started coming across like similarities in, you know, something like Samir's theme, you know, and I was thinking about how much that must have influenced a song like Tonight, for example, you know, the horn trap and all that sort of stuff. You know, that sound, you know, and, you know, obviously the kick patterns and all these other things, all these other songs and TikTok dances and so forth. How do we bring more attention to the people like yourself that created that, and, you know, hopefully give you the opportunities that people like, you know, for, you know, putting them on blast, but someone like Trippy Turtle gets, or someone like that.
You know, that's hard to answer for me, man. You know, because, and I say this because I feel like a lot of times for me, I'm more of a person that's like, yo, you're not going to give me my respect, I'm going to take it. You know, and I'm going to let you see what I am. But I really do feel like I don't get the respect that I deserve. You know, in a lot of places, you know, even some platforms like, you know, like Twitter, YouTube, and you know, I just feel like I'm just looked over, like, you know, this big ass genre that I was the beginning of, and it's just like, okay, he's who? Fuck out of here, you know. That's how I feel.
Yep.
You know, I feel like I deserve a lot more respect. Absolutely. You know, and you know, shout out to you and Serato, man. Like, yo, I don't know if you look at it this way, but yo, fucking Serato, man. Like, this is huge to me.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that, man. I mean, it's the same thing though. It goes both ways, because, you know, obviously without people like you and many other, you know, very important creative people, we literally would not exist as a company. You know, like all the music that is in my Serato is people like yourself and a lot of the people that we've had on the show, you know, and that's, to me, that's the beauty of this kind of thing, this kind of opportunity to have this chat with someone like yourself.
Shameless plug for Serato. I like the fact that, you know, I can either hit you up directly or just put in a ticket at Serato and I get help immediately. Like, if I need help, which is rare, I rarely ever need help with Serato, because, you know, I've been on it for so long. Shout out man D Square, he was the one that put me on Serato in like 2009. And, you know, over the years, I learned it so much. And then, you know, after obviously connecting with you, you know, and you showed me a few things, and I'm just like, yo, I rarely have a problem. But like, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, that little glitch that came up, I was just like, yo, I got help immediately, and that shit fixed it right away.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I don't too much deal with any other company, so, you know, I can't say how it would go, but I'm speaking for Serato. You know, I got the help that I needed right away. And I don't like the fact of, Can I talk about other companies on here?
I mean, I think it depends on what you're talking about. But yeah, we probably need to, keep it, pretty chill. I don't know.
All right. Well, I won't say names, but I don't like a company that will tell you that it's stems and it's not stems. Come on, bro. I'm a fucking producer.
Yeah.
I know what stems are. Call it filtering. That's what it is. It's filtering.
Yeah.
So I mean, shout out to what everybody does, but don't lie to me, man. Like, I know what stems are, and that's not stems.
Yeah.
And this is why, I like Serato, because Serato is going to tell you exactly what it is, and you get what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's crazy the technology, man. The way that things are going. You can do so many things now in DJ software.
I like the attempt, but I mean, for me, it sounds more like you get in. I don't know. Some people are familiar with the DIY acapellas.
Oh yeah,
that's what it reminds me of, and a lot of them sound terrible, man. Like I get it for some on the fly. If you just want to make a quick mix and this and that, but I don't like those hissing sounds and all of the other stuff like that. And you still hear the instruments, and it's filtering.
Yeah,
it's not step.
Yeah, it's true. It's funny. You say that because I made a tweet a while ago, and I was kind of saying a very similar thing where, I'd really just rather the record labels gave us acapellas, or like you did on the 12-inch back in the day, because it was just so I
miss it so much, man. Right? I miss it.
I mean, we're still using the same acapellas from like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Because they sound so good.
And it's like rare that a record label will actually give you all of it now. So many different things. And I miss shopping for records back in the day and actually getting different remixes.
Right.
Like picking up a record and you got a DJ Tameil remix, you got a Eric Sermon remix, you got Teddy Riley, you got this person, that person, Pete Rock. Yeah. Like that was different. And now it's like you get that one song, and if they do a remix, it's like the same beat, but they throw, 5 more artists on it. Like, the fuck, man, I'm bored. Give me something different.
Yeah. Yo, Pete Rock remixes, Premier remixes, and Eric Sermon remixes. We're gonna take a moment just to talk about Eric Sermon, how great the Eric Sermon production is. It's so good, and Muddy Waters actually, as an album, has just so many great Eric Sermon productions on. It's insane. And the way he uses bass lines and stuff, man. Eric Sermon, everybody, if you're not familiar, Eric Sermon doesn't get his flowers.
Absolute monster, man.
Yeah, it's insane. Let's play Eric Sermon's. What's your favorite track off of Muddy Waters? We got to play one of your uncle's songs. We've been talking about him enough. We got to play something from Redman in the chat just for real quick.
Off Muddy Waters. Let's go with I Can't Wait.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I think that one's
no.
There Is a Dark Side.
That's There Is a Dark Side.
I got it though. I got Can't Wait if you want it. We can run that.
Yeah, I mean, because this is the thing. Behind the first album, obviously, the second one is like one of my favorites, but Red doesn't really like to talk about that album. And for reasons, it was some things going on in his life that he don't like to, talk about at that time. He said he was doing a lot of acid and stuff like that. So, but I think for me, it was like, this is where you got to see like the rawness of Redman, So, I mean, to me, I love Muddy Waters too, but I put There's a Dark Side before Muddy Waters. And, that's an unpopular opinion, but, that's my opinion.
Hey, you're on the show, man. Let's do it. We're going to run Can't Wait. I love this song too, man. I love the way that they flip the Mary Jane Girls and all that too. So this is Can't Wait by Redman off There Is a Dark Side, produced by Eric Sermon.
Woo! Check it out, yo, coming to your dive, smoking mad Phillies with my niggas from the Hooterville section.
And shout out Eric, Erotic Dave, Redman Streamcast on the MTV Cribs.
Word. He's still in the same crib right now.
Is he?
Yep.
Raw.
Like I had cerebral palsy, my flow's be wet like all you girls draws me. Crack the bill, spread the Buddha, then the hit ass. Roll it up in thin ass, who tipped it for the 10 bag, etc. I roll my blunts with 2 textures. Pick up 50 bags and then I smoke all the extras. It's the truth, like fuck 180 proof. Don't drop your jaws, I fuck through your Daisy Dukes. Put your fingers up in the air if you're high. I walk by, so F a drive. I swing a bit and bad and average is half as good as Reggie Jackson's. That's why you talk backwards. And the Chuck Spiels and Bogart shit like Humphrey. You couldn't beat me if you ran with 21 Jump Street. Or 90210, fucking yo. In the movies, I'm the nigga pumping Buddha in the back row.
There we are. Can't Wait by Redman. First verse only for copyright reasons. What a great song though. I love that tune. Great selection. Thank you. So yeah, Eric Sermon, man. What is he up to?
07103, 07106. For those who didn't know, 07106, that's Hooterville.
Is it? Nice. Yeah. I didn't know. Thank you. But look, time is precious, and I want to thank you for your time, DJ Tameil. Thank you so much. I'm sure you had, like, Jajeros was asking, how's that battery percentage looking? We're all curious to know. Are you over 8% right now?
It's weird. It's still on 8%. It's not a charging light, but it's still going.
Hey, that's good. We did it, man. We did it. Yeah, shout out to DJ Tameil's amazing phone battery. Thank you so much, DJ Tameil. I really appreciate your time, and I really hope that we get to hear more music from you in the near future, especially if you're able to work one with your uncle Redman. That would be incredible.
Word.
Is there anyone that you want to shout out, or anything you would like to say before we wrap this up?
I just want to shout out to everybody that's doing Jersey club music. Everybody that has a love for Jersey club music, man. Like, I will say it again. We never expected for it to be where it is right now. I mean, we would like to be more mainstream. We would like to be actually used in the mainstream songs. Us personally, me personally, but yeah, man, just shout for, everybody that loves it, man. Because it could have been nowhere. There's always a possibility. Nobody could have been listening,
Jersey Club for the world, man.
Word.
We thank you so much, DJ Tameil, for helping create that sound, bringing it to the world, and sharing it with the whole world so we can all enjoy it too, man. It's we definitely play a lot, like Kid Koo says, we play a lot of Jersey Club in New Zealand, we play it in Canada, we play it on the East Coast, the West Coast, worldwide. So yeah, thank you so much, man.
Still some places that I haven't been to personally. That's crazy.
Well, we hope you get to visit us sometime, man. I mean, we'd love to have you. So keep us posted, and yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in today. Appreciate it. We'll be back here eventually in a couple of weeks with some more guests, but make sure you follow DJ Tameil. We could just type in !follow. You can follow him on IG. You can follow him here on Twitch. Hope we get a DJ Tameil Twitch DJ set sometime soon. It'll be dope to have you.
Word, man. I mean, I guess between there, I'm mainly on my YouTube, but make sure y'all follow that IG, man, because I'm on IG all the time.
Awesome. Yeah, make sure you give DJ Tameil a follow, and yeah, stay in touch. Look forward to speaking to you soon, DJ Tameil. Thank you again so much for your time.
Same here, man. Thanks. Peace.
All right. Peace, everybody.